Hello everyone, welcome back to Business Central Musings. Last week we started a new series on Let's Pass MB-820. MB-820 is the exam for a Business Central developer, AL developer. And we're going to continue today with the next topic. And today's topic is Automation API. But let's recall in a few minutes what we did last time. If you remember, we looked at install and upgrade code units, and that was part of let's see where the lesson is. Let's go to the self-trained material, and we got the lessons here. It was part of prepare for an easy application upgrade experience in Business Central. And part of that lesson was not only the installation and upgrade code units, but we also looked at data transfer data type. It's a new data type. Well, not new anymore, but it was introduced recently. And then we discussed about manage apps, and we looked at how we manage the apps that are coming from Microsoft, then the apps that are coming from ISVs, and ultimately how we manage our apps, our PTE apps. And of course we talked about installation and upgrade code units. And if you haven't seen it before, it's a short video. It's a 30 minutes video, and we go through install, subtype code units, upgrade subtype code units. We go through the tags, upgrade tags, and the way you need to structure your install and upgrade code units. So if that's done, let's move on into the next lesson. And the next lesson is Administer Dynamics 365 Business Central Online. And the lesson starts with becoming a partner. There is a platform for partners. The URL is partner.microsoft.com. And to have an entry there as a partner, you need to apply for that, and ultimately you're gonna get that partner identity. And once log into your account on the partner microsoft.com, you can add customers. And when you get a prospect looking into Business Central, you're going to advise them to try it first. They can try it for 30 days. On their own, they can expand it to 60 days. And ultimately, you can give them as a partner another 30 days. And then the next lesson is on Administration Center. And I have a video, an earlier video, like last year or 2 years ago. I did an admin center, Business Central Admin Center video. I'll put the link in the description in the video. If you haven't seen it, give it a try. But if we were to summarize what was in that video, so you have a new customer, you have a tenant for them, and inside that tenant you can start creating sandboxes, environments. I have here, for example, on my tenant, I have 3 sandboxes and 1 production. And to get here, you can do straight from the browser, https businesscentral.dynamics.com, followed by a / and then the tenant ID. This is the tenant ID. This is the beautified name for the tenant ID, followed by a / admin. To get here, as I said, you can follow the same URL Hopefully you know the tenant ID. If you don't know the tenant ID, then you can find it in your Business Central. If you go to, let's see when this guy loads. When you go to question mark, you go to help and support, you can see the Microsoft Entra tenant ID. It is here. And you can also see a bunch more stuff, but this is the session, the client session. There is a telemetry ID for this environment, and a bunch of other things here. As I said, go and review the video that I published a few good months ago. But yeah, so this is how you get a tenant ID. Also, you can see here what version of the Business Central you have. It's 24.1. The platform is 24.0 and the application is 24.1. Again, this is the tenant ID. The tenant ID, you can also find it on your Microsoft 365, and you can also find it on this customer's Entra portal. And but yeah, so I said that we can get to this admin center from the URL. You just have to build this URL, and the second way you can do it is you go to the settings here, and then you click on admin center, and that will take you to the same URL. But you notice the only difference here is this tenant ID is now not as beautiful as this one. Ultimately, we get to the same place. And in short, my video contains everything except maybe the environment transfer functionality that was added recently. I'm not going to talk about it today, but basically, if your customer has a different tenant, you can transfer these environments from this current tenant to the new tenant. And notification recipients, this is where you manage, you can add a new recipient, but you can manage here a list of emails that will receive notifications when something happened to the environment. An upgrade was successful, an upgrade failed, a problem with an extension, any sort of notification that Microsoft sends, it will use this recipients list. Everybody here in this recipients list will receive an email. Microsoft Entra apps. This is if you want to interact with this platform, with the admin center, Business Central Admin Center, you would need to create an app in Entra, in Azure, and you will have to authorize it, and then you're going to be able to talk to the APIs that are driving this platform from another client, PowerShell or an Azure function, or just a third-party .NET application. You can do whatever you do here with this within this platform. You can do it elegantly from a third-party application. And I also have a blog post on the Business Central Admin API. I'm gonna link the link to this blog into the description of the video. Telemetry is something Microsoft manages. Everything that happens, pages, reports, code units executed, will be all in here. Report outages is also a way for Microsoft to communicate to the admins, for the tenant, for the customer tenants, what happened. Operations is all the operations we do on this platform. We copy environments, we copy production to a sandbox, we upgrade, everything gets recorded in here. Capacity is information about your environments. You see you've got here 80 gigs, and you have 1 out of 1 production and 3 out of 3 sandboxes. You also have the sizes of each environment. You have 80 gigs in total, so we are way under. Then from the environments you can check the apps installed in each environment, and you're gonna see after a while you can see what is the state of each extension. Some of them are up to date, some of them might require sometimes upgrades. Not the case now. Oops. And what else? We can also see sessions, whoever is logged in each environment. Production is nobody, but in dev I should have somebody. That's me. So that's sessions. And then database, you can create a database export. You're gonna get a backpack file which you can restore into an Azure SQL database. You can create a support request with Microsoft if there is something that you want to report to Microsoft. You can also see here a link to the Power Platform. If you want to link this environment, the production environment, with the Power Platform environment, this is where you would go and link it. Then yeah, you see here the two modifiers here. You can change the date when the next upgrade will take place. But as you can see from this window, we have actually 24.1 installed, and 24.2 is available, so we could in theory change, instead of July 1st we can make it now June 21st, and we could click on schedule update, and 24.2 will kick in and upgrade our environment. And what else? We can copy environments. If we want to copy production environment down to a sandbox, that's what we would use. Restore is when you deleted an environment and you want to restore it. Actually, no, restoring deleted environment is from the environments blade. You go to recently deleted environments and you would click there on the one you want to restore, and then you will restore it. Restore is basically if I want to restore this current environment, the one I'm in right now, if I want to restore it to 5 minutes ago or to 5 hours ago, this is where I would go. If you do a boo-boo on your production environment and you want to restore it, you can use that restore functionality. Rename, yeah, if you want to change the name, instead of production, call it my production. That's what where you do delete. It's self-explanatory. So this is the admin center. Now when we create, let's go to the lesson. The one thing I want to cover today is this lesson: use APIs for automation and administration. So let's take this scenario. You've got a new customer. You created he requested a trial environment, a trial tenant. You created an environment, and in the end, now they like Business Central and decided to buy it. They purchased licenses, and now you can basically start from uh, an an empty sandbox, no data in it, and you can start populating the tables that are required for your ERP to work. So at this point, we call this tenant dry because there is nothing in it to work with. So we need to hydrate it. And how do we hydrate it? Well, we start first with a company. Then we need to start populating master data and then the setup tables, and then you can hand it over to the customer to start testing and tweak it if you need to tweak the setup. You can work on bringing the data from importing the data from their previous ERP to Business Central. But yeah, the current lesson is about automation API, and automation API is a set of APIs provided by Microsoft in order for us, the partner, to hydrate the sandbox. That means creating a company. You can see here we have the list of the APIs provided by Microsoft. Automation API, we can create a company, we can create a configuration package, we can perform extension installations, we can check the deployment status, all with APIs. We can upload an extension, we can upload permissions, profiles, we can check on the scheduled jobs, we can create user groups, and I think also security groups, but I don't see it in here, so maybe this is something that might require update from Microsoft. That I would like to switch to VS Code because I want to show you where in VS Code we have these APIs, and there are a few ways to find the source code. One is if you search on my blog site as verland.com and you search for hidden extensions, you might see one of the, let me show you. I went through that in a blog post on how we can, so you come here and search for hidden extension, and there is here one blog where I explain how you can discover the hidden extensions. That's one way. The other way, if you don't want to spend too much time, is you go to your favorite search engine and you say AL app extensions and GitHub, and you go into this repository here and you go into apps, and then you go into W1 and API v2, and then into app and source and pages, and you're gonna see the same content I showed you in my local folder. All the AUT companies, configuration package. So if we click on one, you're gonna see the API group is automation, publisher is Microsoft, and version is 2.0. Well, how do we know what is the application ID? For that, you go up a few folders to where is W1 API v2 app, and then in app.json you get this GUID here. You can go then to, and let's go to VS Code now, and you see it downloaded. API v2 is downloaded here. I added in the dependency. Into the dependencies, I added an entry for API v2, and I pasted this app ID here, and that's how you get it in your extension. And and then you can have a look at the code, and maybe look at the outbound actions. We have apply, we have import. So that was for configuration packages, and this is the entity set name. So that's how you download and have access to the source code of all these automation extensions. To be able to execute this API, automation API, we need a client to do that, and I chose for this exercise Postman. So let's open up Postman, if I have it here. Yes, I have it here. I've got a new collection for this video for you guys. Yes, we are at the beach today, but we also do productive work, and as you can see, I have here the first API is to determine all companies, and if I run it, of course this is not going to work because I need to refresh my token. So let's do that. By the way, to work with Postman, you need to create an API, not an API, sorry. You need to create in Azure or in M365 an app registration, and you need to create for that app registration, you need to create a client secret, and after that you need to add that client secret. Let's see here if I can show you. So you need an app registration in Azure or in Entra. You need to create a client. You need to give permissions to the app registration to with the visibility and what power that app registration has when it's executed from by the third parties. But if we search in BC, this is another thing that has to be done. I have here one of my app registrations enabled, you see it here, and not only that, I gave it permissions, I gave it full access, and I also granted consent. Everything about setting access to Business Central from outside through access through API to Business Central. There are lots of blogs out there. I've seen. I wrote about it. Obviously, I have one of my blogs talking about using Postman with APIs, BC APIs. I'm gonna link it in my in this YouTube video description. But almost every MVP has something around this this access to Business Central API with an Entra application registration. So I'm not gonna spend too much time now on this. Let's go back to the Postman. We need to refresh the token, so I'm gonna use get new access token. I'm gonna use my admin. We click proceed, and we're gonna start using this access token. And if we go to this all companies, we go through authorization. You see it's inherited from the parent. The parent is companies, and also this is inherited from the parent. And on the parent, ultimately the grandfather of that API request, we have OAuth2, and we have the token and everything else. So we go to all companies, and if we wanna, we see here Microsoft Automation V20 companies. We run the API. It's a get request for an automation API, and we've got all the companies here. We've got SV out of 5 is the last company I entered. Now let's create a new one. Let's create a brand new company, and let's create a configuration package. I worked on a configuration package in the previously, and now I just want to, I exported it into a file. All I want now is to import the configuration, package, to apply the package, and to and basically I will then have the data from the package into my database. So if we look at the body of this request, but before the body we see the automation companies. This is one of the APIs, automation company. It allows a post, so that creates a company object, and you can see the URL here. This is exactly what we did in Postman, and I am passing in the body the name, but let's make it SV10, SV out of 10. Let's save it, and that's it, and I'm gonna run it. We get after a while a message. Obviously, creating a company, it's not something that is very short. The execution of an API request to create a company might go beyond the allotted time by the server for this API request, for this post request. So we might get an error that the request is taking longer than 30 seconds to fulfill, which is fine. We know we launched it, and it's going on behind the scene. And if we look maybe at our environment, if we go into the dev environment where we sent it, we should be able to see it's not there yet. Let's refresh. Actually, it is here. It's SV-Auto10 is in alphabetical order. So I was expecting it after Auto 5, but here we go. We have it here. And there's gonna be nothing in this company because this is a brand new company. We're gonna start hydrating it now. And yeah, so if we go to customers, there is nothing. If we go to vendors, there is gonna be nothing. And all the setup tables is nothing. Even the general ledger setup is going to have nothing in it. So okay, so let's go back to the Postman, and we have here another API. This API, we just need to update it to SV-Auto10. Let's save it. And what's going to happen is, you see, we use the Microsoft Automation V20 companies, and we filter by the name SV-Auto10. And if we execute it, we get our company, and obviously this is very important, the ID, but we see the company. Another thing that I did here, I have a script that will be run on the post response. So after we get the response, we load into a variable JSON response, the whole JSON response, what you see here, and then we create an environment variable whose name is company ID, and we pick up from the array the ID of the first member of the array, and that's basically gonna point to this value. The way we know it's right is that if we go to automation, we should see in here the company ID, but we don't see it, so maybe we should have set up the environment to, so let's do something else here. Let's do automation, and now automation is everywhere. So let's do one more time. Let's do SV11. Let's save it. Let's create the company. This is gonna take a while until the server says timeout, and then we should be able to check here if it's created or not. Not yet. No, it's here, SV-Auto11. Okay, so we have the company, and now let's get the ID. This API, basically I have this API for one simple reason. I want to record the in this company ID variable, I want to record the company ID, and let's save it and let's run it. we got the response, and if we were to look at the company ID, the environment, we have the environment here, automation, and we clicked on this button, environment quick look. We see the company ID AD4, which is the same as what we've got here. So we're done with creating a company. The next few API requests will deal with creating a package. And you see the company ID that I got it before from the previous API request. I have it here in the URL of the API. I have a post request to Microsoft Automation V20. The company is companies is includes the ID of the company, and then configuration packages. And of course we need something to do with the configuration package, and that is we're going to create a configuration package, test automation, and exclude configuration tables through languages 1033. So let's run it. And the system is creating a new configuration package. We also have a script that what we want it for. Basically here I'm from Postman environment, I'm cleaning up this, I'm resetting the pack ID and pack code, two variables, and then I'm getting the response. The response was, as you can see it here below, and then we're recording in the pack ID the JSON response, which is the whole response .id and .code for pack code. We also add single quotes for pack code because the loading the package is now going to require both the pack ID and the package code. So if we were to look in the manual at not the automation company, but we want to look at the package configuration. Let's go one more. Configuration package, create configuration package. As you can see, the configuration package has this is to get all the configuration packages. It's actually post automation V20 companies and configuration packages, and that's what we had here for creating company ID configuration packages. Now we want to load the package, and loading the package will require a different URL. Let's go here, update configuration package, upload rapid start package. You see it has the package ID and the file with codes for the package code, and then followed by the content, and the content should be application JSON and required for if match. And the content type, you can see here, it should be set up to a octet stream. If match is star, and binary stream is for the body. We look now here on the loading the package, and if we look at the body, we have here the file, but it's not, I don't have it locally, so I'm gonna have to grab the file locally, and then we're going to continue by running the load package. So we see how we have in the body, we have the the rapid start package. In the headers we put the content type octet stream, and if match is set, the body is that. There is no script. The URL has basically, it's a patch to a configuration package that we created previously, and we have the pack code and the pack ID. Everything is ready to go. We just need to send it. And we got response 204, no content. If we go now to after we load the package, we obviously need to import it and to apply it. For import, we have an unbound action Microsoft Nav import. We have all the variables set up here. We don't have to worry about them. They look good. Pack ID is there, so we can also now import. And the last action here, the last API request is also a post action to apply the package, which will have the action Microsoft Nav apply. And let's do that. And we got status 200 OK. Let's look now at we are in maybe we need to be in, I think, in SV Auto 11. That was the one we created last. And let's check what happened. Let's see if our configuration package was imported then applied. We have configuration packages. We have one configuration package. Let's open it. And we see the 3 tables that were imported. The package now has 0 records, but we do see now number of database records 11, 12, and 15. So they were imported. If we go to payment terms, we should see the records. And here they are. Another thing, I would have liked to have this in a flow, and maybe it's possible. I didn't try it yet with Power Automate to have a flow that runs the creation of the company, maybe the recording, maybe setting up some variables for the company ID. We'll see if not, if it's needed or not with Power Automate. But the thing is, Postman offers a tool to run flows, and it's here. That's the good news. And I have here a flow automation API. The bad news about these flows is that you cannot change variables during the run of this flow. So you see how I have here one of the requests, which is standalone, is not linked, but initially it was linked. Start is the starting point, and I was linking, I had the start link to the automation companies create, which was the first automation company create here. This is the one that creates the company, and this is the one that get last company to variable, which is this one. But there is a problem with Microsoft Flows. It sucks, but looks like the variables cannot be updated as part of a flow. So that's really not working. And I can show it to you. It stops when when it's trying to get, you see the dot, the red, the orange dot there. It just doesn't find the package ID test automation. It doesn't find it in that company, just because the environment variables cannot be updated at runtime. So these guys cannot be updated. So, and we know if we create a new company, we're gonna update this. We know that if we create a new package, we're gonna update, we're gonna have a new ID here. So this Postman flow doesn't really work properly. We need to look at a different solution if we wanna automate the hydration of a tenant. But for now, there is no requirement for us for MB-820 to play with integrating all these API requests into a flow. Therefore, I think the job is done from the point of view of MB-820. We checked if the data is in, so yeah, that's pretty much automation and administration of APIs. I've got here also automation extensions. I should probably it's working. I've been testing it. They will be in the blog. You can give it a try if you want. You can also use uninstall. This is an action, an unbound action for extensions automation API, and you can also do uninstall. So you can automate the installation of APIs, the installation of extensions using automation APIs. I think my job is done here with automation APIs. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Stay in the loop with this MB-820. It's very important. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.